What's up guys, it's PlayRoughh here with a Send Me Eggs video for the Strom Silver Egglocke, which will be a new series launching on the channel very shortly. So obviously this is an egglocke, so I'm going to be needing your guys' help with sending over some eggs. And that's exactly why I'm making this video. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing is giving you guys a quick tutorial on how to make the eggs and then send them over to me to inject into the game. So if you guys are hyped for this, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button down below. And in the description, you will find a few links which you definitely need to go check out. The first link will be a link to download Pokemon Generator or Pokegen. This is the program you're going to be using to make the eggs or the .pkm files. So if you don't already have that, you're going to need to go ahead and download that ASAP. And yeah, that's definitely a thing. And as well as that, you'll find a link to a website called PokemonDB. This is going to be really handy in helping you make the egg, because it gives you pretty much every single bit of information about the Pokemon that you're going to need. So it gives you egg moves, it gives you starting moves, it pretty much gives you all that kind of stuff that you might need to look at while you're making your eggs. So I definitely suggest you go ahead and open that up as well. You can search for literally any Pokemon and it gives you everything you need to know. And it's just really handy to use, so make sure you guys do that as well. And you should find an email in the description below as well. I believe it's PlayRoughhEgglocke@gmail.com. That's going to be the email in which you attach your .pkm files and send them over to me. So just make sure to keep that in mind, I guess. But yeah, one thing I do want to clear up is that there is no limit to the amount of eggs you guys can send me. So if you just want to send me one egg, that's obviously fine. But if you want to send me 173 eggs, you can go ahead and fucking do that. I figured the more eggs, the better. So I'm just setting no limit. Like, if you guys want to send me a bunch of eggs and increase the chance of me hatching one of your eggs, I've got no complaints with that. You guys can go ahead and do that if you want. So that's definitely a thing. So as you guys can see here, I do have Pokegen open. This is exactly what it's going to look like when you open it. So that's definitely a thing. As you guys can see, we've got all of these tabs here which we're going to be going through. But the first thing I do want to say, you guys probably won't be able to see this very well because I've only got the actual program opened here. But if you go up to options, and then this first tab right here should say target game. And what you're going to want to do is change the target game to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because that is obviously the game I'm going to be playing. Or the Strom Silver is a ROM hack of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I don't know if that actually affects the egg, but I figured it's safe for you guys. Like, it's just a safe option to go ahead and change that to the correct game, I guess. So just make sure you guys go ahead and do that. But as you guys can see, we've got the species here, so you can you pretty much choose your Pokemon that you want to send me here. As you guys can see, they've got a massive scroll down list of every single Pokemon, and you can even type for the Pokemon up here. Just one thing I do want to make very clear is that you make sure to send me a first stage evolution. So I don't want to be seeing any Blazikins hatching from an egg, because that's a little bit fucked up. So make sure, if you're going to send me that, make sure you send a Torchic instead of a Blaziken. And as well as that, make sure to not send any legendaries, because legendaries hatching from an egg is not really a thing. I just want to say that. So I'm not going to be accepting any legendaries in eggs either. So just make sure to send me a first stage evolution of a normal Pokemon. So for this example, I guess we'll just use Snubbull, because Snubbull is a monster and I fucking love that thing. If you want to give it a nickname, just go ahead and tick this box and you can just call it whatever the hell you want. I'm just going to nickname mine Mutt, because Mutt's a brilliant name for a Snubbull in my opinion. Experience, just leave that at 0. Level, just leave that at 1, because it's hatching from an egg. And here you can change the nature of the Pokemon. You don't really need to fiddle with this, but if you want to be really nice, you can give me like an Adamant Snubbull, which is obviously a good nature because it raises attack. But if you want to be a massive dick, you can also go ahead and give it a modest nature. Like, it's just the nature. It doesn't really make too much of a difference in an LP, but obviously I'll definitely appreciate it if you gave the egg a decent nature. So you can fiddle with that if you want, and you can also go ahead and give it a held item. So you can literally give it anything you want. If you want it to, if you want me to use the Pokemon with an item, I suggest you just go ahead and attach the item. So for example, if you want me to use a Choice Band and Snubbull in the Let's Play, just go ahead and select the held item as a Choice Band, because I'll make sure that if it is holding a held item, I do leave it on that Pokemon and do not swap it, because I figured that's what you guys wanted me to do. So I'll just leave it with the held item if you do decide to give it one. But happiness, this is really important right here. What you're going to want to do is change the happiness to 255. Pretty much, this is the max happiness you can give a Pokemon. So what that does is it means that if it has max happiness as an egg, pretty much all you have to do is take one step forward and the egg will hatch. But if you leave it at 0 happiness, I'm gonna have to like walk around and like until the egg hatches, and it's gonna be really tedious. So it would definitely be appreciated if you guys could change the happiness to 255 there. So make sure to go ahead and do that. Next is the ability tab. So just make sure you give it an ability that it actually gets. For example, Snubbull does not get adaptability, so don't give it adaptability. Instead, this is when PokemonDB, that website in the description below, can come in really handy, because it will give you all the abilities the Pokemon gets. I'm accepting like hidden abilities or whatever the fuck they have in this gen, I don't even know. Just give it an ability that it can legally get, and I'll be happy with it. So for example, Snubbull does get Intimidate as an ability, so you can go ahead and give it Intimidate. Form, if you're, I don't know, I don't think this really applies for this, but if your Pokemon can change form, that's where you'll change the form of it in there. Country, doesn't matter at all, just leave it at whatever country you're from. I don't think it makes any difference. Actually, it might make a difference. I suggest you go US, UK, AU for that, just to be safe, because I have a feeling if you go to, like, Japan or something, the name of the Pokemon would be in a different language or something. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not an expert at this. I'm pretty much just doing this how I'd like the eggs to be. So, for country, just go ahead and select this, because that's probably the most likely. I don't know, just do that, guys. Just go ahead and do that, I guess. But, for the origin, I suggest you just go ahead and select Strom Silver for that. I don't know if it really matters too much, but it's better to be safe than sorry, so go ahead and do that. You can change the gender of the Pokemon here, so if you want a female Pokemon, go ahead and select that, or if you want a male one, just leave it at that. It doesn't really matter. Make sure you select the egg thing, because obviously you want it to be sent as an egg, because it's an Egglocke, so that's the thing. To make a shiny Pokemon, I don't think you actually select this. I think if you go up to PID, and if you tick this to shiny and click search, that should guarantee that it's a shiny Pokemon. As you guys can see, we've got an adamant male gender with ability 2, which is Intimidate. Shiny, yes. So that means it's going to be a shiny Snubbull. So if you do want it to be if you want it to be a shiny, just go ahead and do that. If you don't want it to be a shiny, I guess you just leave it at that, and now it's not a shiny. So there you go, and I'm pretty sure that's all you need to do for this tab. So next, you can go on to the Met tab. I don't think this really you don't really need to mess with this too much, but I guess if you want to just fiddle with the Pokemon even more and customize it even more, you can go ahead and do this. Just make sure the game is at Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So if you haven't done the first thing I did where you go options target game, you're going to need to go ahead and do that, because if you have like black and white, then it's not going to give the option for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So make sure you have that selected, and location does not matter at all. I'm just going to say that right now. You can just select any random location you want. For example, you can have the fucking game corner, and just have that as a location. You can change the Pokeball it comes in to whatever you want as well. So, for example, I guess I'll just leave it as a Cherish Ball. And I don't know why the level is at level 2. Just go ahead, if yours is at level 2, go ahead and change that to level 1. And the date, you can just leave that as it is. Does not really matter at all. Encounter, again, you can just do whatever the fuck you want with that. This doesn't matter at all. For example, you have it like that, whatever. That doesn't make a difference in the actual egg. So you can just customize that to whatever you want, I guess. Don't have this selected. You don't need to select that. But make sure you have as egg selected, because fucking yeah, it's gonna be in an egg. So you want to have that selected, I guess. But what we're gonna do next is head over to stats. And this is pretty much where you can either be a massive dick or be really fucking nice to me. So, as you guys can see, we have got IVs here, which at the moment are all set to 0. If you guys don't know what an IV is, it's pretty much, if it has, okay, you guys can just read this. These are values which determine the highest possible stat, blah, 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 blah. You guys read that? Yeah. I'm sure most of you know what IVs are, but pretty much, if you give it 31 IVs, that means its total stat is going to be higher than if you gave it like 5 IVs, for example. So if you want to be really nice, you can go ahead and give everything max IVs, like 31. You can even randomize the IVs down here if you want to be that guy, and just give me random IVs. Honestly, as I said at the start, it's not going to really matter too much what IVs you give me, but I would definitely appreciate it, since this is like it's a hard ROM hack, I'm not going to lie, so I'd appreciate if you guys gave me some decent Pokemon, I guess, with good IVs, but yeah, you guys can just do whatever you want with that, with the IVs. It doesn't really matter too much, but what I am going to ask of you guys is to not mess with the EVs, because pretty much what EVs are is pretty much a stat boost which it gains from battling Pokemon, for example. Like every time it levels up, it gets EVs, and they increase the stats of the Pokemon. So I'm gonna ask you guys to leave all the EVs at 0, so I can just gain those naturally throughout the Let's Play. So that's the thing. So that's pretty much all you need to do for this tab. So we're just gonna fucking leave our IVs at that. Whatever. Who the fuck cares? That's a decent attack. 1 HP IV, not fucking bad at all. Not bad at all. But this next tab is also when that website linked in the description below is going to come in very handy, because if you're making a Pokemon and you don't know its egg moves or its starting moves, that website has all the stuff you need on that. So luckily I actually know most of Snubble's starting moves. So for example, Snubble does learn Close Combat as an egg move, so you can go ahead and give it Close Combat. I believe it gets Fire Fang. And I also think it does get Present as an egg move, which I've always liked about Snubble and Groundball. You can, if you want to be that guy, you can run Present on it, and that's just fucking powerful. So, for example, you guys can do that. You don't need to fill out 4 moves, I'm just saying. Make sure you at least have 1 move, though. So you can just have 3 starting moves if you want. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to ask you guys to not mess with the PP ups. Just leave all of those at 0, because what they do, so just add more PP to the move, and I'm going to ask you guys not to do that, because I figured that would be kind of unfair. I don't know, I don't even know, guys. Don't judge, don't judge. Next up, we've got this tab. This tab, I don't think you actually need to do anything with. You can just leave this as it is, so yeah, just don't touch this tab, and I'm pretty sure you're done with the Pokemon now, unless I made a mistake. Make sure to double check everything so it's okay, because if you have made a mistake, I'm going to have to be the one who goes and edits it and makes it correct mid-episode or whatever. So hopefully you guys get all that, and my tutorial actually did help people who don't know how to send me eggs. But pretty much what you're going to do once you're happy with your egg is you're going to click File, and there should be an option that says Save Pokemon. So go ahead and click that, and from there you should be able to save it as a .pkm file. You can name it whatever you want, and then just go ahead and attach that to an email, to the email in the description below, and I'll be able to receive that and inject it into the ROM. So that's pretty much all you guys need to do. So I hope I helped you guys out if you didn't already know how to do that. Hope you guys do send me a lot of eggs, because that'll make this a lot of fun to do. I'm honestly really hyped for this series, but I'm gonna leave it here. So I'm out, guys. Catch you later. Bye.